Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, to my favourite fuel station. That was 180 miles for 1750 doll hairs. This bike is it's just wonderful. It's wonderful. Today, what we're going to be talking about is, well, selling bikes, because I keep getting asked about, what my future plans are. And also itchy boots, because I don't know, did anyone else, or does anyone else follow? I'm sure lots of people who watch this follow itchy boots, but did you see that she is not going to be coming to the United States now for her book, which is kind of sad, because I was going to see could I get to like one of the book places. I thought that would have been cool. I'm still going to get the book. I hope it does really well for her, because I think it's very. I think what she does is very cool. You know, like a lot of people talk about her being brave and all that as a solo traveler, which definitely, yes, I think anyone who travels alone is brave to some degree. But even if you remove that like bravery aspect, it's how she manages to get through all these borders. Like I watch some of them, and I confer with the likes of Heather JBK about her latest videos. There's some of those borders, like I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'd like to see some of that country, but there's no way, there is no way I would be able to deal with that particular border control. You know what I mean? And that's, I think that's honestly one of the most impressive things is the ability to navigate all that stuff when it is, exceedingly difficult. Like no matter what way you slice it, that stuff is tough. It's really tough. Anywho, yeah, so she won't be coming because of current ongoing things about, risk of not being let in, basically, even though she has a currently active visa, which, as someone who is on a visa, I completely understand. I was recently in Switzerland for work and coming back in. You can tell that there's definitely more of an onus on interviewing as you're coming through the border. Not that I always got asked questions, always, on, the type of visa and, the work I was still doing and do I still work for that company, stuff that you'd expect to be asked. But it's just even the tone has changed slightly, that's the big thing. And that's all I'm going to comment on it, because I am on a visa and I do need my job. And I have other people relying on me to keep my job, so that is the end of that. All I'll say is I do think it's a massive pity that, we're in this position now that, horses, it's cute horses. I will never not be happy to see, oh look, a plane! That's a cool plane. I love planes with propellers, that's a big deal. People asked me on the video where we saw the planes, they're like, I thought you didn't like planes. I don't like passenger planes. I think those are terrible, and they're made to be as about as miserable as it's humanly possible to make something that cool, because it is still really cool to be able to fly in the air in a plane as a human, but we have made it miserable. So there's that. It's an important little note. But yeah, I like propeller planes. I think they're really cool. So yeah, but the stuff around itchy boots not feeling comfortable coming in, I completely understand. Especially since she's been to some countries that might raise red flags with border control and whatnot. But it is just a pity when I think she has done more for tourism in a lot of countries than anyone else. I would have never looked at some of the destinations that she's been to, especially recently, as places I would like to go to ride a bike, and now they're on my list. You know what I mean? They look incredible. And hats off to her. She should be like a global ambassador for travel, just for all countries, because that's kind of what she inadvertently does. Well, whether it's it's not inadvertent. I mean, obviously she knows that if she's showing a lot of these places in a good light. But yeah, I think definitely it's just, it shouldn't be undersold. I think the effect that a lot of her videos have had on a lot of people. So it's a real pity that she doesn't feel comfortable coming in here just in case. And like I said, I completely get it. The just in case, completely get it. And yeah, then the selling thing. So like Hippo Drones recently made a video about this. I'll leave a link in either the pinned comment or the description, because you should watch it. You know, it makes a lot of sense, and it's sense that I think, you know, and I don't mean to be part of the problem, but sometimes I feel like I am. You know, you see a lot of people on YouTube, and I'm not including Hippo Drones in this, by the way. This is 100% not at Pete. This is other YouTubers who, you know, they're always buying the new thing, and I feel like it's become like a race to how many gizmos and gadgets that are on a particular bike, whereas, you know, and I never meant to lean into that, but I think because I have several bikes, and, you know, lately they've been newer bikes, I think people are like, oh, maybe, you know, are newer bikes better now? You always liked older bikes, and it's absolutely not that newer bikes are better. It's just that that's what caught my interest at the time, you know. I actually still prefer my older bikes, you know, to work on and whatnot, 100%. And you know, I absolutely didn't mean to ever lean into, you know, you need the latest gizmos and gadgets, and I actually thought I had communicated pretty well that one of the things I actually like about the Z and this bike is that you know, they have a minor amount of assist. Like, they have traction control, they have ABS. I think ABS is a good thing by and large. I don't like it on track. It robs a bit of brake feel and stuff, but I think on the road, look, it's fine. It's a good thing, you know. And that was one of the things that I actually specifically looked for Toaster's new bike, the Rebel 500. I wanted the Rebel 500 ABS. I didn't want the non-ABS version, because, you know, the price difference is minimal, and, you know, for someone who is relatively new to bikes, I think more safeties are good, you know. I do. If I was starting again, would I go for stuff with safeties? No, but it's when it's someone you care about that does actually change. So then, you know, that led me to introspectively look at myself and think, you know, are you applying unfair rules? And is it actually, or should you actually look at getting more safeties? Is that better? And then, you know, when you apply that, for instance, to your wife, if she's learning to ride or whatever, yeah, I think definitely more safeties are more better in this situation. That doesn't mean they always are. That doesn't mean they're for everyone. And yeah, like on track, definitely, I don't like ABS. I know people who swear by the fancy gizmos and gadgets on the S1000RR, for instance, on track. And, you know, maybe that's, I'm missing out. Maybe it's just that I haven't tried something like that, which I haven't. I mean, I'd love to try an S1000RR on the track. Will that ever happen? You know, the older I get, the more I doubt. Because the world just keeps getting more expensive. And I want to work less, not more. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet out there who be like, you need to work until you drop dead. No, not for me. Time spent with the people I love and like, and traveling and seeing stuff and just living and enjoying myself are far more important to me than working myself to the absolute bone, because it might maybe mean I can get, you know, one or two cooler, fancier new things. That is not why I feel I am on the earth. I mean, new fancy cool things are nice. You know, it's nice to be able to afford things, for sure. I'm not saying it's not. But it's definitely not the be all and end all for me. I rather have spending money, of course. I've been, oh, that's glass. Oh, I just rode over all of it. Well, that's that then. Hopefully we do not have a puncture, because I am still quite far from home. Bikes. Second bike was like, should I wave to an ADV person? I don't know. I'm unsure. I'm confused. And maybe they were aroused. Who knows? Jigsaw bro seeing a V-Strom bro. Maybe you never know. We're all Suzuki riders at the end of the day, am I right? But yeah, that's anyway, that was a really long-winded way to say I didn't mean to contribute to that idea of newer is always better and you got to get all the latest gizmos and gadgets, because I didn't, and I don't believe that. Next up is the Z. I get asked constantly about the Z. I don't know, is it just people are worried because I haven't done all of the things I kind of really wanted to do to it yet, or do they want to buy it? Maybe a bit of both. I'm not finished with the stuff I want to do to it yet. There's more I want to do for sure. But at the same time, like, the roads around here are kind of boring, and I need money to put into the Valkyrie, whether it's to get a donor bike or buy more parts for it. You know, the SV is for the track now. This is a fantastic road bike. I'm not selling this one. This isn't even on the radar. So yeah, the Z is still, it's always up in the air. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest. And I don't, like, I love using it for like fun spins and whatever else, but at the same time this would be just as effective for fun spins for me. Maybe you get that slightly smaller visceral thrill of zoomies, but you know, you do get the same effect at the end of the day. And you know, that's wonderful, but at the same time, if I lived somewhere that was more twisty-turny, like if I lived in the area that I was in Switzerland for work, I would quite happily keep the Z forever, because there's some fantastic roads within, you know, 15-20 minutes of where I was. Okay, so far the tires. I'm gonna reveal some things here accidentally, but I want to head just towards home. Because in case that glass has punctured something. Tires feel okay. I don't think they're leaking. I'll check them over when I get back to the garage. It's one of those things, right? The new Honda Hornet is one of those bikes that I hope does kind of push prices lower and stuff, because at the end of the day, if you can't have fun on the new Hornet, you probably can't have fun on a bike. And, you know, you don't need all these 6-axis IMUs and everything else. Like most people, and I genuinely mean 98% of people who ride the bike will never actually need the 6-axis IMU. And maybe, you know, they can do like an SP race version that people have all the fanciest gizmos and gadgets. And you know, that is more expensive. But if we get bikes down to a more affordable level, I think that's only a good thing, you know what I mean? And I really hope that keeps pushing. I mean, I'd love an MT10 SP, but they're really expensive. So will I ever get one? Probably not. And you know, that's just life. But yeah, it's come to my attention, we'll say, that I might have been contributing to buy all the new bikes all the time. No, I've had this bike like over 2 years. I'm extremely happy with it. It doesn't need anything. It just works. The worst thing that's gone wrong with this is it needed a new battery. You know, I'm actually looking forward to redoing the forks on this, because I'm going to respring the forks, and I'm going to respring the shock while I'm doing it all. Like, you know, this thing has just been fantastic, and long may I continue using it, because it makes me happy. You know, it's a great touring bike. It's a great road bike. And I think that's what people should aim for. You know, what puts a smile on your face, and you know what actually, like, I went through it before buying a bike and all that, your use case, and I won't get back into it, but should be the focus. You know, it shouldn't be, oh well, you know, YouTuber A just got this cool new bike and now I want to copy them, and you know, that's a trap that I feel a lot of YouTubers fall into, is they're always getting the newest, fanciest bikes, and maybe it's not all the time, it's not always the bike they actually want to buy to ride, if that makes sense. And maybe that's something that's culturally wrong with YouTubers. Maybe we need to fix that as a community of people who make videos on bikes. But at the same time, nice bikes. Lots of bikes out today. At the same time, you know, it's just one of those things that I feel is just, it's going to be like one of those things that's like a matter of time. You know, a lot of people need to figure out what they want, and I think that's, you know, it's why I'm lucky that my brain is how it is, and you know, Hippo Drones is the same. Is, you know, he even said it in that video that I will link, is oh, you know, I don't live here, by the way, I'm just not bringing you directly to my house. I do not live in a church. But you know, he was like, I don't buy bikes to please other people. I buy bikes because they're what I want to ride and make me happy. And I literally could copy and paste that section of text into one of my videos, and it would be the same. Like, I don't buy bikes because I think they'll get views. I buy them because that's what I think fits what we need. You know, it's like what Toaster needs, what I need, or what I want, or what Toaster wants. You know, what'll make us happy. And you know, that's kind of what I focus on. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I don't know what to do with the Z. If you have any suggestions, if you'd like to buy it, just let me know. You know, if someone does want to buy it and they want me to respring it and do anything to it before they buy it, like, I can do that. Just pay me the parts and I'm more than happy to do labor for free, because I get videos out of it, and you know, you get a bike the way you want it. So yeah, other than that, there's videos coming on parts for the Rebel. I have a rear rack picked out, just have to check with Toaster, is she happy with it, and then we'll do that. There's the rear rack. There's some possibility of maybe some Viking bags. I'm going to reach out to them and see what they want to send them to me for review and install and stuff. If not, I might buy them. There's engine bars that I'm looking at. T-Rex racing engine bars, probably go for those. And yeah, there's a couple of bits and pieces. I'm actually really excited to get that bike kind of done up nicely, and a first ride video as well on that. So yeah, there's lots of things coming. I should probably check my tires, shouldn't I? You're right, viewers who have not realized this video exists yet. You're right, I'm going to check my tires. I mean, they're ADV tires, so they should be fine, but that front one, I actually have a new front tire. I just haven't fitted it, but yeah, it looks okay. We're good. Yeah, with this thing, I mean, if you want to do it all adventure daily bike, I could not recommend the V-Strom higher. I love this thing, and I love these Hepco Becker boxes as well for a daily. I mean, they're wide as hell, but they, for trips and stuff, especially in America where you're not allowed filter. And again, I'm on a visa. I'm not here to stir the pot. They work great. But yeah, if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons. There's some names that I know someone messaged me about, one name in particular. There's some names that will always be left up on my Patreon, whether those people are with us or are a patron or not any longer. Just because, and that's how it works. I don't need to explain it further, I don't think. But yeah, if you have any questions on anything I said in this video, please let me know. Itchy Boots, I wish you every success with your book. I will be buying one myself. I hope you get lots of future adventure money from your book sales. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, buy a bike that makes you happy. Don't follow the crowd. Don't get the newest fanciest thing just because it's sparkly. Just write something that makes you smile. And that's all I have to say, I think. Let me know what you think about the Z900. What should I do? That's it. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Outro crew. If you were me and you were to sell the Z, what would you get afterwards? What would you change it to? Would you go for like a cruiser? What would you do? Let me know, Outro crew. If you could pick any bike for me to buy, what would it be? Bye, Outro crew.